While Steph dropped 40 to eke out a win over the Nets, it was Jimmy Butler who provided the extra push with his best performance yet as a Warrior.
Jimmy he's a superstar. I mean, that's what superstars do. They take over games, and I thought that's what he did tonight.
Using his size to his advantage, the Warriors found multiple mismatches for him through fun actions and ball screens, while he also flexed his ability to playmake using Steph's gravity to his advantage. Last night, Jimmy Butler bullied the Nets. Let's review. So the Warriors ran a very similar out-of-bounds play a few times last night, with the concept being that Jimmy is eventually going to either get a mismatch in the paint, which will allow him to score, or he's going to get inside positioning and a pass is going to be thrown over the top, which allows him to easily put the ball up. What usually happens after the inbound is that Jimmy's going to come set, or whoever is going to come set a back screen for the inbounder. Now, the Warriors have a few options out of this. Obviously, off of this back screen, the inbounder can just run straight to the basket and look for an opportunity to score. They can also run maybe over the top, try and get a three. And Jimmy Butler, or whoever the back screener is, can also run similar actions off of this initial inbound and back screen. In this possession, though, it's important to recognize that with the Nets switching, it's a lot easier for Jimmy Butler to get this inside positioning because there's no jumble here. And because the switch is pretty clean, all Draymond has to do is throw this ball over. And because Cam Thomas is smaller and is also concerned with Pat Spencer, Jimmy Butler is just able to get this ball and put it up with a much smaller Cam Thomas trying to stop him. Now here it is again. This time Jimmy Butler is the inbounder. And as you'll notice, now it's Moses Moody who's going to come set that initial back screen. So again, what are the options here? Jimmy Butler can try and cut straight to the basket. Maybe Moses Moody could cut to the basket with Jimmy Butler clearing to the weak side. Again, the Nets are switching. So Cam Johnson is going to stay attached to Moses Moody, while D'Lo, who's smaller and a worse defender, is going to take Jimmy Butler. Now, Dre is going to immediately recognize this and watch Jimmy. This time, he doesn't have that inside positioning, but because he has the mismatch from the Nets switching, he's just going to bully D'Angelo Russell and put the ball in the basket. Now, in this third example, it's another similar type of action. This time, it's Moses Moody. He just briefly brushes up against D'Angelo Russell before coming to clear out, which allows Jimmy Butler to then take the switch, get D'Angelo Russell, and once again, look how Jimmy Butler has got this inside positioning, meaning that if Dre can deliver this ball into this pocket, Jimmy's just going to jump up and score. And that's exactly what he does, Jimmy Butler being more physical and gifted at that type of scoring while his body's in the air. Now, Jimmy Butler was also scoring in other ways last night somewhat aggressively. In this example, it's just Draymond doing a little ring around the rosy, coming to set this screen onto Cam Thomas, maybe for Jimmy Butler to run off of. But as soon as Draymond is basically running to set this high ball screen, Jimmy's just going to reject it and take it straight to the basket against a smaller Cam Thomas. Jimmy was really good last night using his body, using his physicality, especially to attack smaller defenders like Cam Thomas, like D'Angelo Russell, which got him a lot of free throw opportunities. This is another opportunity similar to the first few plays I'm showing you. This time, Jimmy is once again the back screener, and this time it's for Steph Curry. So let's pay attention once again as the ball has made its way to the top of the key, and it's Jimmy Butler setting the back screen for Steph Curry. Now, in the previous examples, the first 2 or 3 plays I showed you, usually the Nets would end up switching on this action, or Jimmy would get some sort of advantage. But those were both examples with Moses Moody or Pat Spencer as the inbounder or the user of that screen. But when it's Steph Curry, let's see what happens. As always, Steph draws both defenders, which means that now it's Jimmy Butler who's just completely unguarded. That's the advantage of when Steph Curry can take the place of Moses Moody or Pat Spencer. He's obviously more lethal, draws more defensive attention, and gives Jimmy a good 2 or 3 seconds to set up for this wide open three. Now, in this next play, I think we can all guess what's about to happen from this formation, as we've covered before. What happens whenever someone gets in this high elbow and someone calls for the ball in this post? It's the Warriors split action. And this time it's Jimmy Butler who's running things as the low postman, coming around to orchestrate. After Gary Payton delivers this entry pass, he's going to come set the screen at the high elbow for Steph Curry to run off of. And although the Nets try and do their best to contest him here, this is just a bit too open for Steph Curry, and he's going to drain that shot. And it's nice to see Jimmy working in multiple ways within the Warriors offense. Now, in this last possession, I just wanted to highlight how Jimmy's gravity can create wide open shots. Cam Thomas tries this closeout, allows Jimmy Butler to get inside positioning here. And let's see what Jimmy Butler draws. He obviously draws Cam Thomas. He also draws Zaire Williams. Pat Spencer does a good job clearing over to this side, which also brings D'Angelo Russell. So now it's 1, 2, 3 defenders all focusing on this drive from Jimmy Butler, also aided by a good off-ball movement from Pat Spencer, which allows Moses Moody to take a wide open 3 in the corner, all because of Jimmy Butler's gravity. Now, Jimmy Butler is clearly still not in top form, nor has he found his perfect fit in the Warriors system. But already, he's found comfort within the Warriors' many actions as an excellent cog that knows how to use his physicality to its advantage. And if Jimmy looks this good in his first 11 games with the Warriors, imagine what it'll look like in the next 11. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you agree.